All right, we're preparing, setting up. I'm probably talking live on YouTube right now. Who knows?
Wait, what the hell?
And
Oh,
we're live on YouTube. There we go. All right, I don't want to stare at that one. I'll stare at this one and hit record for the. We'll put the closed captioning on. Yes, I know. I've already started. A little behind the scenes. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Attitude Era Wrestling Review Podcast, where I would say we're going to be reviewing the Attitude Era, but we're pretty much, for the time being, a WCW podcast because no network. I've said this for like weeks now, but whatever. Still angers me. Whatever. So tonight we'll be reviewing Nitro from December 15th, 1997, live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Woo! And of course, your hosts tonight are me, your 1, 2, 3 time armchair booker of the year, and my tag team partner, as always, the host with the most, the man with the velvet vocal cords, Arnold. Yep. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well, Drew. How are you this fine evening?
Hey, it's less than 80 degrees outside. I am very happy. For our European listeners, and we have about a quarter of our audience in Europe for some reason, it only got up to like 7, 8 degrees today. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's probably more like 12. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, something like 12. Yeah. I'm trying to do the math in my head. I suck at math. But yeah, I'm doing great. Watch some wrestling this afternoon so we can talk about it. Yeah, so if you're wondering why this is a few days late, it's because it was 98 on Wednesday as of recording time and felt like 107 outside. And I didn't feel like sitting in my little unfinished closet out here and sweating my nuts off. So
Yeah, it was
I
miserable.
looked at the weather and I went, Arnold, oh, can we do this 2 days later? And you're like, yes. And I'm like, thank God. Because it was just so hot. You walked outside and you took your breath away. It was so muggy.
Oh yeah, big time.
All right. Well, speaking of things that are hot, let's just jump right into this because we have not a 1 hour, not a 2 hour. We have a 3 hour spectacular Nitro. Whether it should have been a 3 hour Nitro is up to for debate, but we will see. So, as I said earlier, we are live from Charlotte, North Carolina, in the Charlotte. What is it? The Charlotte Coliseum? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, we're in the Charlotte Coliseum. So, ooh, if I even pronounce it, it still types it out on this Coliseum. That. Hmm. We have Shivani, Tanae, and Zabisco on commentary. I don't know. I just kind of missed having Bobby Heenan out there for a full show last week. That was
Right.
nice. I mean, I like Zabisco and I love Tanae, and Shivani is take him or leave him. I'm not as high on him as some people are, but he was good. Um,
Mm.
but I miss Heenan. But we start out. We're looking back at last week's ending with Sting pulling the old bait and switch of "I'm a dummy. I'm not a dummy. I'm a dummy. I'm not a dummy." But Arnold, they dropped the big news today. Guess
Yeah, it did.
who? Guess who is in the building?
Um, Ernest Miller.
No, No, I don't think he was. Disco and no, I'm just kidding. Bret Hart is here and will be on camera with a mic in his mouth later on in the show.
Yes, sir.
Uh, all right. So we start off with the NWO comes out, all of them. And I wrote, who's the new guy? And they they're like, oh, that's Mas Chona or Maz, whatever his name is, Chono. And I'm like, oh yeah, that Japan guy that we thought was the other dude, but oops. Oh well. Oh, and I want to address something I said last week while I'm talking on. Yeah, we thought we forgot about the Japanese NWO guy and thought it was the other guy. Sue us. That's a mistake. But when I said last week about Iron Sheik being from Michigan, that was a joke, by the way. People were like calling me out. Um, uh, you do know the Iron Sheik was born in Iran, right? Yes, but you do know that like all wrestlers are billed not from where they're actually from. So that was the joke saying he's actually from Michigan. Never mind. If you didn't get it, you're not going to get it. It's humor over your head. Yes, I know the Sheik was from Iran. Good Lord. Anywho, so yeah, even the Mas Chono's there. Kurt Hennig and Hogan cut promos. It's just your standard NWO opening. Did you see anything special?
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, there was literally not, other than they said Bret Hart was here. That was the only important thing in the opening.
Pretty much.
So then we go to a NWO paid ad on the Zabisco. Okay. Then we get one on the Steiners. And I timed it. The first 11 minutes of the show are NWO with no action, no real news.
Oh.
Not a strong opening, if you ask me. And after that 11 minutes, what is the first thing they put in the ring to get us to stick around and not switch over to Raw? Virgin versus Ray Trailer. God bless America. I swear you can't. This show was booked horribly. I'll just admit it. This was somebody sitting in a room at 6:30 going, "Oh shit, we got an extra hour." Nobody told me. Yep, Virgin versus Ray Trailer. That's your
Yeah.
opening match after 11 minutes of NWO. And then it's a 3-minute squash match that Ray Trailer wins. And nobody comes out to help Virgin. So after months of seeing Ray Trailer get the crap kicked out of him because the NWO gangs up on him, now suddenly he goes one-on-one and nobody comes out.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. And when I say 3-minute squash, Virgin got no offense. Nothing. I don't even think he got a punch in. And it was 1, 2, 3. That being said, it was 3 minutes. I didn't like the booking of nobody coming out. At least just bring like Scott Norton out and let Trailer beat him too. But didn't like it. I gave it a C. It was there.
C's not a bad score. You were definitely nicer than I was. I gave it a D. Like I'm getting really tired of Ray Trailer versus the B Squad. And I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. At least this was a very short squash match. But I'm with you. I was waiting on somebody in black and white to come out, and it never came. I'm just like, okay, so we got a squash here, and that's it. That's all. And I'm pretty sure, at least to my knowledge, on Nitro anyway, because I mean, I haven't been watching Saturday night. This is the first time I can recall seeing Virgin wrestle on television. That's just me. Um,
I think it's the first time we've seen him in the ring. Yeah, definitely.
so I'm just, yeah, I gave it a D. I'm getting real tired of this storyline that I don't feel like it's going to go anywhere.
Yeah. If I would have saw a can of spray paint, I would have hit F and fast forwarded. The more I talk to myself, the more I want to go D2.
It's understandable, man. Like, I mean, that's just my thing. I'm just, it's gone on long enough.
I don't know. Oh, ugh. Man, if we kept them in the, oh my God, I can't talk. I'm so angry. So we start off Virgin versus Ray Trailer. And how do we keep them watching and not flipping over to watch Steve Austin? Yuji Nagata with Sonny Ono versus Disco Idiot for the TV title. Arnold, I'm just too pissed off. You tell me about this one.
Oh man, I was glued to my seat when I tell you I was riveted by this one. Um, okay, that's probably being a little too nice. Realistically, I mean, there's a lot of offense, I guess, from both guys. Um, I'll be honest with you, based on last week, like I saw they kind of buried the lead here. Because I mean, we see Yuji Nagata what maybe once, twice a month. Disco
Yeah,
Idiot's
if
there every
that.
week. So I mean, I can't say he's a part timer, but at the same time, I mean, there's no way we're going to throw a belt on a guy that's only going to be here two days out of the month that we need him to be here, regardless of the regardless of the strap. Anyway, a lot of stuff happens in the match here. A lot of two counts. Sonny Ono tries to get involved and gets hit with some weird slingshot chart buster thing. And then Nagata gets a chart buster and Disco Idiot picks up the win. I'll be honest with you. I did not realize until the end of the match that this was a title match.
Yeah, because you don't expect Disco Idiot to have a belt.
Yeah, because they were like, yeah, Disco's still your TV champion. I'm like, this was a title match? I was a little taken aback. Um, but I ended up giving this one a C minus, surprisingly. Like, it was one of those ones, like, based on, for me, I think it was based on that first match. And I'm just like, okay, well, this was a little bit better than that. And realistically, I mean, we haven't watched Yuji Nagata and Sonny Ono beat the crap out of Disco Inferno for every Monday for the last, I don't know, year at this point. And then spray paint, like Yuji Nagata was here or something on his back. I don't know. Like, I think I was feeling a little generous after that first match, if I'm being completely honest.
I understand. I was okay. Here's what happened, Arnold. I had every intention of coming home from work today, flipping this on, watching it, and then hopping on here, having enough time to eat.
Right.
Enough time to eat. Maybe, maybe with a game of college football 26 in between. But
Yes,
no,
sir.
but no. You know what happened? I made it through the NWO. I made it through Virgin and Ray Trailer. I fell asleep during the Disco Idiot match for probably about 45 minutes when I woke up. I woke up, I'll tell you where I woke up during the middle of the Booker T Macho Man match, however long that is in between. and went, "Oh, I apparently missed some
Oh,
stuff." Pause. Oh, apparently I missed a lot of stuff.
you missed a lot
Crap.
of stuff.
And I'm gonna have to rewind and speed watch it. So like I skipped like normally I don't skip anything, but I was skipping like the Nitro girls or the 1-800 collect commercials. So I missed probably some good Bobby Heenan zingers, but no wait, because I didn't. Yeah, I would have missed maybe. Yeah, oh well. But anyway, so I didn't really know a lot about this match because I wasn't going back to watch it all. So I just gave it a C and was done with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, this is a weird show because I will tell. I don't know about you. I'm not going to give away all my grades, but the in ring action was kind of crappy, and the talking segments, promos, interviews, whatever you want to call them, carried the show. So I'll leave it at that. Because next we have Fit Finley versus Malenko with Guerrero on commentary. Now, you know me. I love me some Dean Malenko. I know nothing about Fit Finley other than that he's Irish. Uh, so, yeah, that's all I know. I love the fact that he used like the double Vulcan nerve pinch and then took one hand off, and Malenko is still selling that side like he still has it on. Did you notice? Did you see that one?
I did.
Yeah, love that. This one was just a standard TV match, nothing important really, just nothing even spectacular or great moves to even talk about. Went back and forth. Then toward the end, Guerrero comes down to the ring because he's on commentary. Um, Goes to the top turnbuckle, but Malenko knocks him off. When he does that, he eats the Irish forearm to the back of his head. And then is everybody in WCW just using a tombstone as a finisher now?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. He eats a tombstone. 1, 2, 3. Fit Finley won this one. Now, I have a problem with this. I have absolutely no problem with Guerrero getting involved and causing Malenko to win or lose. But just the way he did it, it was, I don't know, just to me, it was lackluster. Like, oh, he went to the top rope and then Malenko got whacked in the back. I'd almost rather him just jump up on the apron, distract Malenko, and Malenko get rolled up 1, 2, 3. Other
Huh.
than, I don't know, just, and I'm not, there's nothing wrong with it. The way he did it, going to the top rope, getting knocked off, then getting blasted in the back. I don't, there's nothing wrong with that, but for some reason, I just don't like it. And I don't know what, if it's personal preference or what, but I don't know. And Eddie on commentary carried this, but I'm still only giving this a C plus because it was just, even for a TV match, it was nothing spectacular.
I
All right,
can't
what
argue
about
with
you?
that. Um, I was a lot more forgiving with this one. um, and I'll be honest, like at the time, I guess I didn't know Fit Finley was already with WCW at this time. Because I remember seeing him in '98, but I didn't even think about '97. But anyway,
I
um,
think, I think we saw him at World War III. That might have been the first, or maybe a random spot on Nitro somewhere. But I remember seeing him before.
it makes sense. I was like, yeah, because even if I mean if he's been there, it's probably a thing where he was wrestling on Saturday or something.
I
Um,
think it was World War III. Now that I think of it, it's the first time I remember seeing him.
Most likely, bunch of randos. um, this one, as far as matches with Malenko, we've seen better. Yeah, we've seen worse. Yeah, the one last week where he basically carried the entire match. And I'm pretty sure I made the comment of he could get a wet paper bag over. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but you can definitely tell, like if you compare this to the match against Prince Ikea last week, I know it's kind of apples and oranges, but you could tell that Fit Finley had probably been doing this for a little bit in comparison.
Yeah.
Um, there was that. Of course, Eddie is always a gem on commentary. Uh, I was a little confused when he came down to the ring, not because it's like, what is he doing? I figured he was going after Malenko, but I was kind of confused as to why he was just in straight up like attire as if he had a match. I was kind of like, I mean, you couldn't at least put a t-shirt on my man or something. They can look like, yeah, I'm out here just to do commentary. I'm off tonight. I mean, I wouldn't.
You know,
You don't have to put him in a three-piece suit, but
I didn't think of that, but you're absolutely right on that.
and I'm kind of nitpicking there. So like, I'm not. That doesn't play a part in my grade. Make that clear. F. What's going on, Eddie? I'm kidding, but I kind of agree with the finish of this. Like, you want Eddie to come down to the ring, even if Malenko's like, oh, I'm gonna get a pop in the crowd and knock the bad guy off. Yay. Now, if he had hit that Irish clothesline, flip Malenko inside out, go for a pin, it's some cheap heat. Get the pinfall win. Ha, I beat your boy. Too bad he was distracted. Sucks to suck. Go on about your day. Or even, like you said, have him yell at him on the rope or knock him off. Like, yeah, that's what I thought. What's this? Oh, sneaky little rollover pin. Small package, something. It's like, all right, there we go. But yeah, to hit the tombstone is just, I don't know. It's like, was it a clean win? Kinda. I mean, realistically, I guess you could say it was. I mean, he took advantage of a situation and he didn't cheat to do it. It's not like he told Eddie to come to the ring. But I mean, I ended up giving it a B plus. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Malenko, and honestly, like we haven't heard him talk much yet, but Fit Finley is one of those guys. Like, does it have to make sense? No. But if he tells you he's going to beat the crap out of you in his Irish accent, you'll listen.
See, I'm going to tell you something about Fit Finley. I know nothing about him. I know who he is. I know he's Irish. I don't ever. This is probably the first Fit Finley match I've ever watched. I'm not. I just have no recollection of him. I like know that after the acquisition of WCW, he goes to WWF for a while. I couldn't tell
Mm-hmm.
you one thing he does there because I don't quit watching. So I know of him, but this is virgin territory for me. I know nothing about him. So I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to
like
seeing the career of Fit Finley.
didn't really see
And
him
we'll put the,
much in WWE. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh,
I would say you didn't really see him much in WWE until like I don't know if we look at it in eras, like it was like the HD era, like toward the beginning of that. Because I mean, he was older by then, so I mean, he was doing some in ring action, but it wasn't a lot.
I know he had something to do with Hornswoggle at one point because why not stick the leprechaun with the Irish dude? So
Shout out to Vince
looking forward to
McMahon.
seeing the. Yeah, well, oh, wrecked any Bentleys lately, Mister McMahon? Did you see that one?
I saw memes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, all right, Arnold. I know you've been chomping at the bit.
Oh yeah,
Or
you're
did
right, dude.
did I give my grade on the last one?
Yes, I believe you gave it a C.
C plus. C plus.
Oh,
Not C
B
plus
plus because I
plus.
don't know if I said mine.
I'm not coding here. Not C plus plus.
Is that a
C
dig?
plus. No, but every time I say C plus, oh now it says C plus instead of C plus plus. Ah,
JavaScript.
C,
Sorry, I had
C
to.
plus. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, I gave it a C and 1+. There we go. All right, Arnold. Like I said a second ago, you've been chomping at the bit. I know you want to tell me all about this next one.
Yes, as much as I could see, it was a blur. And of course, so I'm talking about the NWO vignette that had to do with Rowdy Roddy Piper. Again,
Oh, skip that. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I'm putting it in my notes. I just said, why are we talking about Piper? I'm pretty sure he's sitting at home right now.
He's got to be. I
uh,
mean, they've got to be laying the groundwork. He's going to show up at Starcade. Has to be.
that's about the only thing I can come up with. And I feel like he might get involved in that Hogan match. Not to bury the lead here.
Well, we'll see. No,
But
but tell me about the actual blur.
after this vignette, you get some cruiserweight tag team action. You have a team of Rey Mysterio and Juventud Guerrera taking on Psychosis and my boy La Parka. Oh my goodness, I was so hyped when I saw La Parka Warrior. I was like La Parka because I feel like I never see him on TV. But
We haven't got to the era of the chairman yet.
that's very true. All right, well, to start off, we'll get Hoovy and Psychosis in the ring, and Hoovy is doing Hoovy things, running all over the place, punching, kicking, flipping, skipping. I can't think of any other words. And at some point during this, Laparca kicks Hoovy in his butt, and Psychosis finally gets a chance to get some offense of his own. And he pulled off this nasty leg drop Psychosis did off the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look nasty. I was like, man. And then that, of course, gives way to Laparca getting his opportunity to beat the brakes off of Juventud. And at some point, I think, yeah, Psychosis hops in the ring. My notes were all over the place on this, by the way, folks. It's like Hoovy gets out of the way of this savage beating. And at some point, Psychosis ends up accidentally. Oh, he was going off the top rope for a missile drop kick. Hoovy moves, accidentally hits Laparca with it. Psychosis starts to taunt Ray in the corner. Followed by a tag to Laparca. Hoovy knocks them both down. Hot tag on Ray. They both go in. Got the one guy in one corner, the other one, you know that whole bit. Then they reverse it. Hard collision in the ring. Laparca and Psychosis roll out. And then we get a double suicide dive from Juventud and Rey Mysterio. That was an awesome spot. The crowd popped. I popped. Everybody popped. It was an amazing spot. And it only happened once through this whole broadcast.
Yeah, there wasn't 768,000 of them afterwards.
Exactly. And by that point in the match, you can clearly tell that Rey Mysterio and Juventud are in control here. And did you see that? Oh my goodness, I don't even know what they called the slam. I just called it a slam off the top rope. That
Oh, yeah, I don't know what that is, but ugh,
I was
that's
like,
one you got. How? I mean, if you take that an inch wrong,
oh yeah. And it was one of those things for me. It's like, it's, I mean, that made it apparent that it's like, I mean, obviously, if you can look at the size of the men, that Laparca and Psychosis were definitely the bigger guys in the ring. It's like, yep, that proves it. And what flipped me out was the fact that that was not a 3 count. That blew me away. And then we got the Laparca dance. So I definitely put that in my notes. We get a Hurricane Rana to the floor by Rey Mysterio, a 450 splash in the ring by Juventud. 1, 2, 3. I was captivated. I was glued to the screen for that one. And I even put them, my notes were all over the place in my notes. A plus.
A+. Wow. I knew you'd
I
like
was
this.
I love this match. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Hoovy still a bit of a botch machine, but honestly, like you could tell there was a lot of chemistry between these four competitors in the ring. Like it showed because my thing is, especially like you think about the slam spot, that crazy leg drop from Psychosis, and really a lot of those spots in that match. If I don't trust you, we're not doing that. I don't care how long you've been in the ring.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. All right, Arnold, I'm going to read you the entirety of my notes for this match. Grab a bowl of popcorn. You ready?
I'm on it.
Lucha rules. Hoovy hits 450. 1, 2, 3.
It's like a haiku.
Could be. Yeah, I wasn't going to attempt to try to watch that and write down moves. I just watched it as the organized car crash that Lucha is, and I enjoyed it. It's the first thing, honestly, on the show I really enjoyed. I didn't quite go as high as you because you're a little more on the cruiserweight side than I am. To me, it's a little. I don't like when they say Lucha rules with you don't have to tag. You can just come in. To me, it's a little too disorganized, but it's entertaining. I get that. And like you said, Laparca, if he does the dance, that's an automatic like half grade up. So I gave this a B plus. So
All right. Honestly, I mean, considering your history, as it were, with cruiserweight matches, I mean, that's growth, Drew. I'm proud of you.
I can enjoy them. It's not something I'm going to go out of my way and want to watch a lot of, but I can enjoy like one a show. Give me that. I'll give you that. All right. So then we have Mean Gene with the Charlotte Police Department, Doug Dillinger, and Arn Anderson talking about some memorial. I don't care. Ric Flair comes down. I skip to the part where I see him yank off the jacket. Then I know shit's getting good. And he starts calling out Hennig. And that was it. I mean, I'm sure in 1997 people gave a damn about the police officers being there, but we're not here to review police officers getting a memorial or some shit. I don't know. So I don't care. I was there for woos and Space Mountains and Kurt Hennig, you're an evil bastard. That's what I was there
Yes.
for. And I got those. So it was nice seeing Double A though.
Yes, sir. Block Anderson himself.
Yeah. Uh, any words on this?
Um, no.
Well, Arnold, you know what that leads to? Because it's now our number two. Or who save someone, because we got our number three.
Oh yeah,
Don't shoot
can't
the,
afford that.
don't blow the whole wad.
Come on, Daddy Ted. We need more funding.
Yeah, we can't shoot all the fireworks off for hour two. All right. So we start off like I said earlier, this show, the in-ring stuff, in-ring action was not as good as the interviews and stuff. That I didn't poo-poo, but kind of glossed over the Ric Flair, but it was Ric Flair. It's good. So now we have Mean Gene with J.J. Dillon, and Sleazy E comes in, and they're talking about his match with Zabisco. He wants kicks and punches to count, and JJ says, sure, but submissions also count.
So a
Since
wrestling match.
when? Yeah. Since I know like they're technically not supposed to punch, but every one of them do. They're not supposed to have a closed fist punch. That's the trick. You can have an open fist punch.
Yeah.
Which, if you know anything about wrestling, that's what they do anyway, and that's why it doesn't really hurt. But anywho, but submissions count. Since when did submissions not count? What was
That's
this
what I'm
thing
trying to figure
originally?
out.
They go in the middle of the ring and play pinochle. I don't know. This was didn't make a whole lot of sense, but we're leading up to something later, so I'll let it go. All right, and now we're going to move into our next match. Unless you have anything. Oh, sorry. Do you have anything to add on that
Yes.
little promo? Yes. Okay.
I do like the Shivani. Oh, I actually put this quote in here. A man his age should not have his hat on backwards, referring to Sleazy E. And that I do like that one James J. Dillon mentioned that a blob of flubber has more backbone than Eric Bischoff. That made me laugh.
That's good. That's good. All right. So now we're going to go to a big, hotly contested grudge rematch. We have Scott Hall versus Chris Jericho. And this one kind of got me at the beginning because Hall tries to clothesline Jericho before he gets in. Jericho ducks it, gets two quick 2 counts, then hits the lion salt. And I'm like, oh, shnikes for 2. Then eats a choke slam. Then Scott Hall gets up and mocks the giant. Hilarious as always. Um, Hits the razor's edge. 1, 2, 3. Scott Hall wins. This was a glorified squash. Um, I remember Jericho beat him a couple weeks ago. I'm assuming that was off of some kind of distraction or interference or something. But yeah, he got his win back. Um, Decent match in the ring. It was very short, maybe 3, maybe 4 minutes, probably 5 if you count. Hey yo, we're doing a little survey over here. So yeah, my daughter was watching this and goes, "Why does he put so much gel in his hair?" I went, watch Miami Vice. You'll figure it out. But yeah, I gave this a B plus. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but it was entertaining at least. And that the beginning got me when it was like those quick 2 counts and then he hit the lion salt. I'm like, holy crap, he's just going to squash him. But no, no, that was good match psychology. You got me. You got me, whoever was calling that.
Oh man, this one kind of made me laugh a little bit. The survey didn't go as planned for the old NWO, which
That's true there, but you're in Charlotte.
this is a year in Flair's backyard. Like I don't think you're going to get it. You're not going to score one for the bad guys here.
Can I scroll?
And
Oh, there it is. End quote for the old NWO, which this is the urine in Flair's backyard. Urine is in pee.
that's funny.
You're in urine. Yeah, we're rednecks. We say urine. So it's gonna it types out as instead of urine, it's urine. You're in his backyard.
That's wild. I'll say all in all though, I'll say yeah, this one I gave it a B minus. Like, yeah, I'm with you. I got kind of swerved there at the beginning because I'm like, oh yeah, maybe Scott Hall's trying to get out of here quick, and Jericho's like, nuh-uh. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, I blink and all of a sudden Jericho's getting hit with the razor's edge. Wait a minute. Outsider's edge. I don't want to get sued. Um
I don't care.
it
That's just too hard
was
to say.
kind of a glorified squash here. Um that's about the best way to describe it. Like B minus, nothing to really write home about, but not the worst match we've seen so far tonight.
Agree. But outsider's edge, it just doesn't make any sense. Razor's edge. You can walk along the razor's edge. That makes sense. Outsider's edge doesn't make any sense. If you're gonna do make it the outsider's ride, outsider's fall, something that makes I don't know makes sense. Where outsider's edge doesn't make sense. Anywho, All right. So what do we got now? Oh God.
Ah, well, we got Bobby Heenan starting his shift on commentary. So we got that. He got a that kind of threw me off because I wasn't expecting it just yet. But anyway, I figure each give them an hour and a half each, I guess. But where did my notes go? Here we go. All right. So next on the card, we have Mongo McMichael taking on Ming. And Ming comes out. I mean, he's doing his thing, waiting on Mongo. Where's Mongo? Oh, we got a camera backstage. What's going on? Is that Bill Goldberg? Oh, this is weird. JJ's like, no, we can't be having this. So I guess you're going to have to take on Ming tonight. All right, cool. So Goldberg makes his way out to the ring, and Mongo made a speedy recovery.
Oh, I'm glad you caught that too.
So yeah, Mongo comes on out, says, "Hey man, that's not cool. Let's have a gentlemanly discussion about this." And some cops and security, and I think even JJ Dillon, and hell, maybe even Ming and Jimmy Hart got in there to try to break these guys up. And I guess this was a little more than a promo for Starcade. I guess I didn't even grade it. What was there to grade?
There was nothing. Folks, if you look up the words overbooked segment in the dictionary, it will show you this. It was just ridiculous. If you're oh my
The big fat
I
nothing
don't
burger.
I would not have had a problem with it if it wasn't. They should have had Goldberg go out, have a match. Well, you can't even do that because he has to go squash him in 30 seconds.
Yep.
But I was going to say have him interrupt the match, have Mongo come out and interrupt the match when he wakes up. But Mongo's down, out, cold on the floor, on the concrete, face down, spread out. 12 seconds later, he's sprinting down the entrance ramp to get to Goldberg.
Yeah.
It made absolutely zero sense.
Yeah.
So
It. It was. Yeah.
Mongo Jesus coming down the aisle here. Jesus waited 3 days. Mongo waited 3 seconds. And he's back. Oh, I hated it. It was awful. It was terrible. If I was going to grade it, it would probably get an F
Yep.
just because. But and Ming, hey Ming, we need to show up tonight. What are you doing? Walk out to the ring. What do we do? What do we do? No, that's it. Go to the ring. Yeah. Stupid. All right. Next, we have Scott Norton and Conan. You know, that menacing tag team that we've seen so many times together, taking on the Steiners in a tag team title match. Ooh, okay. And we started out hot. Norton and Conan jumped the Steiners, who immediately clean house and lob the NWO out of the ring like they're dummy grenades. Um, did you see and they even replayed it. Scott Norton dumped Rick Steiner on his head.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I think Scott went for a power slam, and Rick wanted to do that like that quick little suplex like flip thing he does. I don't know what you want to call it. It's like somewhere between a suplex and a fireman's carry.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that thing he does, whatever it is. I don't know if they just miscommunicated or somebody said something about somebody's mama or wires got crossed. What? But Rick Steiner got legit just dumped straight on his head. And I love
Oh yeah.
Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan. Well, at least that's the hardest part of his body. God, Bobby Heenan was a treasure. He just was. He was so. So yeah, but the match goes on. Steiner's okay. He gets up. Uh, Steiner's in control. They go for the what do you want to call it, the top rope bulldog? Was that with the Steiner bulldog off the shoulders? But Virgin gets in, gets him DQ'd. We have a big brouhaha, and Ray Traylor comes down to help to run off the NWO. Great, more Ray Traylors. What this show needs. But again, another back to back, really back to back to back, nothing matches. Hold on. What was the last match we had that was actually something? The Lucha match, tag match in the beginning. We've had a squash. We've had didn't happen. A glorified squash that turned into a DQ. We've been almost an hour. Actually, we probably have been an hour without seeing a match, like an actual. Let's go to have a finish, ding 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 match. This show is booked horribly when it comes to in ring.
Yes.
Out of the ring, we're good. In the ring, we're bad. All right. That being said, it was short. It wasn't great. It wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen, but we don't need to ever see this again. So I gave it a C minus.
Huh, fair enough. Um, I ended up giving this one a B.
Ooh, do explain.
Yeah, like for what it's worth, like there was action. All things considered, there was action. Um, I wasn't a big fan of the finish because I get it if it's a thing where it's like we're gonna put the NWO over for cheap heat kind of thing. So, maybe somebody, maybe Scott Steiner's like feeling it, crowds into it, and he accidentally dumps Norton over the top rope or something. It's like, oh no, he disqualified, boo. Whatever. But Conan and Scott Norton are not a tag team. So why are we trying to protect these guys? And I'm a little surprised that Virgin was able to make it out to ringside. Because didn't he get left in a heap at the beginning of the show?
He's taken the Mongo McMichael class on miracle healing.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. And honestly, now that I'm talking about it again out loud, I'm just like, yeah, B was kind of high. So, wow, I might have to change this one on the fly now that I think about it. Because I'm like, there's so much more that doesn't make sense with this match than there is things that make sense.
That was funny because my original was a C, and I'm like, you know what? That's too high, C minus.
Yeah, I might have to drop this down too. Because I mean, now that I'm talking about it out loud, it's like, yeah, there was action, there was a lot of slams and stuff, power. But it's like at the same time, nothing else made sense in this match. It up to and including the finish. Like, I mean, the Steiners are your tag team champions against two dudes who just happen to be in the NWO. I think they could have gone over without disqualification. And, the world would have been okay.
I agree.
So
I agree 100% on that.
This might be a C minus for me now too. That I think about it.
And that's the way that's the way it goes. Sometimes when you start talking about it, like, what was I thinking? This was kind of crap.
So
and I've actually
horribly.
And I've had matches where like we've watched them, and then I gave it a grade and got talking about like that was so wrong, and go back and watch it, and I'm like, yeah, what was I thinking? I guess it's just in the moment. And once you start breaking it down, it just becomes a sum of its parts, and like, ugh. I don't know. All right, Arnold. Let's move on to, I believe, yes, I'm going to go ahead and just get it over with. My favorite match of the night in the ring, and that is Mr. Booker T versus, wait for it, wait for it. Still waiting awkwardly like Miss Elizabeth after she came out. Oh, here he comes, Macho Man. Randy Savage. So apparently, scuttlebutt is that Miss Elizabeth came out a little too early because Mr. Savage had a couple bumps left to do back in the locker room, and that's what took him so long to get out. I don't know. I'm totally making that up. They talk bad about a bad dead man, but what the hell took him 3 minutes to come out for?
I have no idea.
Like I don't know if somebody sent her out too early or what happened, but if you watch this, his music hits, she comes out, and it's what, a good 2 minutes before he comes out,
It's just that macho madness, man.
and they're stalling and stalling on commentary so bad, and you could tell if you listen, go back and listen to it. By the end, it's either Heenan or it's Heenan and Shivani, or you can tell in their voice they're getting irritated. It's like, for the love of God, where is his dumb ass? And you can hear it. But he finally comes out, makes it to the ring. I thought this was going to be another squash match, honestly. I really thought this was going to be Macho Man comes out and beats the crap out of Booker T. Couple of those elbows, pull him up, hit another one, keep going. But no, it was not. Booker T gave him the business early on. We got a spinneroonie, aka Shivani said, that breakdancing thing he does. We'll get there, honky. But yeah, Harlem sidekick, Macho Man powders. Then he uses a plastic, like 70s molded, like those bubble, I call them bubble chairs, and hits him with that.
Ow.
Then a fan tries to get involved, and he got a little crap kicked out of him. Got a nice little chin lock put on him by I believe it was Randy Anderson. Or was it?
I think security got this guy.
Oh, was it this one? Okay,
Yeah.
was it later that he got? Okay.
It's a spoiler alert.
And then
I put fan in quotes in this one because I don't know. It seemed not a work, but maybe it's like, oh, this guy, like he's like interview. They'll just kind of politely pull him off the hard camera.
I don't think they'd be allowed to do that. I don't know, but I will say, God blessing Bobby Heenan with the quote of the night. All right, take him away to the Crowbar Hilton. God, I love Bobby Heenan so much. Back to the match. The ref gets bumped. Booker T goes to the top. He's going to go for that. What the Harlem? What was it?
The Harlem Hangover.
Harlem Hangover. That's it. Miss Elizabeth grabs his foot first, won't let him off, and then apparently the bumps kicked in because Macho Man goes from laying down to jumping up and running across the ring, just like Mongo. That's how Mongo got up. Somebody put a little Colombian marching powder up his nose in the back, and he come flying down the aisle. Anywho, second chair shot with the bubble chair, flying elbow, 1, 2, 3. Macho Man wins. Out of all that chaos and ridiculousness, I like this one. I mean, Booker T getting in a lot of offense here.
Mm-hmm.
looked like $1,000,000, honestly. Shout out to Macho Man for letting him do that. I thought that was great. I gave this an A-. I like this a lot. It was
Mm-hmm.
the booking made sense because you can tell they're trying to see, all right, what do we got with Booker T in singles? We've seen him in tag teams forever. Is this somebody we can push a little farther up the card as a single, and how will the crowd react?
Mm-hmm.
And they were eating it up. So kudos to him. Unfortunately, it's what, 1997. It's going to take about 3 years, but we'll get there. We'll get
Mm-hmm.
there. Um, yeah, A-. I like this a lot.
Oh yeah, and I'm inclined to agree. So much so that I also gave it an A-. Um, yeah, like you're starting to kind of see something here with this Booker T guy in singles competition, because you think about it traditionally, when you see a guy that's normally a part of a named tag team, 9 times out of 10, if they're coming out in singles competition, unless it's part of a tag team storyline, they're probably getting curb stomped, like point blank, period. But you got Booker T going in here with, excuse me, with a man who's, I mean, already been immortalized in the annals of pro wrestling by this point, and got to work. It wasn't a thing where he just went out and took 7 elbow drops and got pinned. I mean, this was a good match. I mean, and I've been enjoying the mean streak of Miss Elizabeth too with NWO. I've
Mm-hmm.
loved that. Like, just everything about this match was good, except watching Booker's kidneys get destroyed by that chair. That was awful. But same time, I mean, if anybody can get heat easily, it is Macho Man Randy Savage. That's a good way to get
Amen.
heat. And yeah, all in all, it was a fun match to watch.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So A- is all around. Great. That is the end of hour number 2. So we're going to hour number 3. All right, that's all we got. We used too many for hour number 2. Damn. We'll try to do better next time. We'll get a bigger fireworks budget for the next 3 hour show. All right, Arnold, I know it's your turn, but let me go first. Benoit versus Raven. Nope, never mind. It's Scotty Riggs. Beat down by, it's just a straight up kind of a squash, extended squash. Benoit wins. Then he gets on the mic, calls out Raven, and instead of walking off, he dives over the railing at the flock, and they proceed to kick his ass. D, you can talk about it. I don't care.
I honestly, about the only thing I made a comment was, and any of our North Carolina fans, you can correct me if I'm saying the name of this city wrong, but Benoit chopped Scotty Riggs so hard you could probably hear it over in Gastonia. Geography joke. And then we got to see his eye. I was like, ooh. Purple cross face. Falls out the flock, jumps into the thing, gets his ass handed right back to him. D.
Yep.
I can
Okay,
only see
great.
this guy get pulled into the rings of Saturn so many times.
Yeah. I don't care unless it's Raven from here till I'm assuming Starcade. I'm immediately skipping it and giving it an F. I don't care.
Yep. Here.
I'm done with him and this flock. I don't even know what to call them. The chick squad. I don't know, baby flock, whatever. Waka Flocka, get the hell off my TV. That's what they are. Anywho. All right, so now we're back with, I haven't done it this episode. We're gonna try it once. Mean Gene with JJ Dillon And Eric Bischoff again, I wrote. Ugh. I'm like, so Bischoff wants a different ref. He says he wants Kevin Nash. JJ Dillon tells him to go shove it up his butt. And then he's like, six. And then, yeah, blah, 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 blah. JJ says, no. He says, you know what? I'll make it an NWO guy. If you let me, I get to pick, but it'll be an NWO guy. And Sleazy's like, yeah, oh yeah, heck yeah. And out comes for the first time on WCW TV in a segment about your GM, sort of, versus an announcer. This is how we introduce Bret Hart on TV. Let that sink in. The hottest name right now in professional wrestling, and he is Bret Hart. In a segment between Eric Bischoff versus Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah.
What in the ever loving hell was someone smoking to think that was a good idea? That's not hindsight being 2020. That's right in front of you going, yeah, let's do that. That sounds great. Even knowing what I know and what ends up happening, because I think we all know what happens at Starrcade. This was the stupidest way to use Bret Hart. It's not like he's hurt. It's not like he can't compete on your TV screen or on your pay-per-views. He is 100% healthy, 100% yours to do with what you want. And you make him a ref in what essentially boils down to a comedy match. Mm-hmm. You debut him on pay-per-view in the ring in a comedy match. And people wonder to this day why WCW couldn't stay in business. Okay. I just brought to my head. Usually we'd talk about stuff like this in the pre-show, but we didn't have one this week. So before I forget, I have got to ask you, did you see the clip where they were in they called a writer's room, booking the Women's Royal Rumble this year? Okay, it was either this year. I don't know if it was this year or whatever year it was. But somebody, I don't even know who it was. If somebody's listening wants to tell me who that guy was, he is a genius, and I will bow down to him for this, because they didn't do it, but it would have been perfect. So you're at the Royal Rumble. 30 contestants in the Women's Royal Rumble. 28 and 29 are in the ring right as 30 is counting down. Right about 5 on the countdown. 28 and 29 do the double elimination. They're the only ones in the ring. 30, I believe it was Chelsea Green, walks out and is immediately the winner because she's the only one left. That
would have been funny.
That would have been genius. I mean, I don't know who Chelsea Green is. So just back, I don't know anything about her other than I can tell you when I see her, just because I know what she looks like. In the ring, I know nothing about her. But if you wanted to do that with somebody who's like a smarmy heel, that would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just not even have to do anything. Just walk out, step in the ring, ding, 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 winner. Just insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that'd have been great. I don't know who that was. Shout out to whoever you are. All right. I'm not going. Do you have anything about that about him being the ref?
I did like his little quip that he had whenever he's telling
Yes.
Bischoff, "Hey, don't expect me to help you out in this." Said nobody knows better than I do how it feels to get screwed over by a ref. I was like, yeah, little
Shout out to Earl
smart.
Hebner. Yeah, I wrote
That's
that. I actually wrote that down. Now that I look at it, I
mhm.
forgot to say that. That was funny. But so is Bret Hart NWO? Is he not? Hmm.
Nobody knows.
All right. So next we have Mean Gene with Buff the Stuff. But what? Or sorry, with Lex Luger. Here his music hits, but out comes Buff. Music switches. What? Mean Gene doesn't talk to the NWO. Buff says Lex knows he can't beat him. He hasn't beat him in like 3 or 4 weeks. Um, he's the real total package. Well, here comes Lex. They have a face to face, and Lex says it's time for a match. He went to the back. They gave him time. They're going to have a match. But Buff says, "You need a ref." Here comes a ref, and then he says, "Well, you're going to need what was the other thing? Crap, now I remember what the other thing you needed. Oh, he needed to warm up." And that's when Lex slaps the taste out of his mouth, says, "Warm yet? Ding, ding, ding. We have an impromptu match." That was the best part. I need to warm up.
I kid you
Whack right
not.
across right
I
across the side of the
literally
face.
slapped the taste out of his mouth in my notes.
Did you really?
Yes,
Because
I
that's
did.
exactly that is honest to God, word for word, what my note says. Oh, that's great. All right, so we have an impromptu match with Lex and Buff. And of course, Lex is in control early. Buff gets a small comeback, but it's cut off. The NWO comes down. Lex knocks him off I think Virgin off the apron. Then Lex throws Bagwell over the top rope. Nick Patrick immediately rings the bell and I'm like, DQ? Yay. Lex won. No. DQ. Buff wins again because Lex threw him over the top rope. So it's a one time of the year we use that rule.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hey, it is a rule. So it is what it is. Apparently, you can clothesline them over the top, but you can't throw them. So weird. Buff wins again. I like this. This was short. I like the way they set it up with the interview in between because
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows Lex Luger's not the greatest on the mic, but he was eating this up, and I loved it. I thought he did great. Um, I gave this whole thing a B plus. I liked it.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I'll be honest with you. I gave like the whole thing got an A for me. This is how it's done. I could watch this storyline go on for another month and be like, you know what? If Buff can keep finding more shadier ways to win, and if we get a payoff at like Bash at the Beach or something, I'd be cool with that. Just watch Lex Luger put him in a torture rack for 10 minutes. It'd be funny to me.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. What? Okay, work with me here.
Mm-hmm.
What if Lex said something about his mama, and then we put his mama on the corner of the ring about 10 feet up, and we have Judy Bagwell on a pole match?
Oh, bro.
Oh, you understood the assignment. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've like this was great. I've been a fan of this. Like, we've seen these guys in the ring a few times already. And yeah, I mean, Buff's got a point. Lex hasn't beaten him. And this makes 3 times. Even got Buff sheet eating grin at the end of the match. I've been enjoying this feud, man. It's been a fun one.
Oh, 100% agreed. I can't wait for the payoff where he has to finally wrestle him and lose or win. Who knows? But yeah, um, I could see this. I want to. This is like I said, Ray Trailer or Flock. If I see him, Skip and F. If I see this, it's automatic rewind, and I want to watch it again. This
Mm-hmm.
feud is gold, especially since it's an undercard feud. Love it, love it. Um, yeah, okay. All right, so next we have Kurt Hennig, even though DDP always calls him Kurt Hennig. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah, he comes down, cuts a promo on Flair, blah blah blah, nothing special. So then we get Kurt Hennig versus Flair in Charlotte, like we were supposed to get 2 months ago, and it's over because it lasted 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
The bell rings and the NWO jumps Flair immediately. I'm talking ding, ding, ding. NWO jumps him. Why even wait for the match to start?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. They injure the ankle or the leg, whatever. DDP, the Steiners, Lex Luger come out. They help Ric Flair. Did Ray Trailer come out here?
um,
Don't think so.
I don't think he did.
See, if you're gonna be consistent. Anywho, yeah, they carry Ric Flair off. DDP calls out Hennig. Two more fans try to get in the ring, and they're dealt with quickly.
Shout out to Randy Anderson here, dude.
Yeah,
I
that
think
front chin
DD
lock.
or I think DDP saved that dude's life because
I
he had that
think.
on thick.
Well, if you notice, when he had that on, that guy was already knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go back and watch, that guy's limp, but Randy Anderson still has that locked on. I don't know if
Oh yeah.
DDP kicked him in the face when he got in, or Randy Anderson. Somebody clocked that guy out, and he's got
Oh
like a
yeah.
front chin lock on him. That's just bang, yeah. But two more for the Crowbar Marriott, or no? What did he Crowbar Hilton? Yeah, the Crowbar Hilton. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Heenan. It's the NWO, Hogan, all the Goon Squad. Everybody comes down, and DDP's like, you know what? I'm not an idiot, and he goes to the crowd. Hogan grabs a mic. Sting's a coward. The lights go out. Sting's in the spotlight on the rafters. You're a coward way up there. Lights go out again. They come back. Sting's on the entrance arch on top of the NWO or the WCW. And Hogan's like, you're still a coward, coward. And then he climbs down and he makes his way to the ring. Fade to black. We got the stupid Sopranos ending.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure it was a time thing. Maybe we're supposed to see something, and I'm sure we'll see at the beginning of next week. But do you know who I solely blame for this?
Hmm.
Macho taking so long to come out for his entrance,
Fair enough.
or whoever put a Disco Inferno match on this show. That's how our show goes off. Sting making his way toward the ring, but we don't know how that ended. Oh well. I didn't grade any of this last stuff. It wasn't anything in ring really. The Flair versus Hennig match never happened. It was just a random bell, and that's how I'm retconning it. Um, but yeah, this show in ring, not the greatest.
Mm-mm.
Segment wise, really good, which is really weird because especially WCW is usually the opposite.
Yep.
Going back, this show did not grade well. Um, this only comes out to about a C. So we could do better, folks. We could do better, especially 2 weeks from your WrestleMania. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah. I can't
C
argue
show
with
for
that.
me. Little pitchy,
Mhm.
dog. Little pitchy.
So I can't argue with that. Like, I'll be honest, when I first heard them say 3 hours at the top of the show, I'm like, oh boy. I thought it was going to be a drag, to say the least. I thought they were basically just going to have a captive audience there in Charlotte for 3 hours or however long. And like the segments really didn't disappoint. We had some good segments in the show. Um, the matches, yeah, like you said, I mean, the segments definitely carried this show. And like for me, the episode averaged out to about a B minus. That's because of my A+ for the Luchador tag team match. Um, but you know, some of the storylines here are getting stale. Like this whole flock thing with Benoit, Ray Trailer versus the B team of the NWO. Those are getting kind of stale. Um, the Disco Inferno random winning streak after losing to Jacqueline. Um, the Disco Inferno title run. I'm already over
The Disco Inferno period.
it. His
I'm over
entrance
it.
music.
His existence on planet Earth. Choking a pretzel, Glenn.
But we got Bret Hart on television. So that's a thing. Um, thankfully we're less than 2 weeks away from Starcade now. So, maybe we see what happens next week. Go home show.
Yep. I will say this: cut this down to a 2 hour episode. Get rid of some of the crap matches, the weaker segments. This is probably easily an A show.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a lot of these bad grades are just because I'm already in a bad mood from what happened before. You can cut this up and make a much better show. 3 hours is, I still say it to this day, because isn't Raw still 3 hours? Or do they cut back to
Uh,
two? I don't remember.
ow.
3 hours is too long. A 7 hour pay per view is ridiculous. Two pay per views are not 2 days, 2 nights, whatever.
Right.
Like there is no day one of WrestleMania and day two of WrestleMania. There is.
Wasn't it 3 days last year or something crazy?
I don't remember. God, I don't know. There's WrestleMania. Then the next day is some crap. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but it's not WrestleMania. WrestleMania is a pay per view is one day. I think SummerSlam this year, I think, is finally back to one day, which nothing, there should never be a 2 day pay per view. There should never be like a 6 hour pay per view.
No.
Now, like WrestleMania, maybe SummerSlam, I'll give you 4 hours because you got a big roster. You got a lot, but nothing ever over four, and only big, 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 big shows. But definitely
Right.
not 3 hours every Monday. That's redonkulous.
And a bit of overkill.
Oversaturation, overindulgence, over menstruation, whatever. Lots of overs. That last
Oh,
one didn't work,
majorly.
but whatever. Um, yeah, yeah. But that's pre-show talk for next week. Not tonight. We're rambling. This one, you said B, I said C. Whatever. 2 weeks to Starcade, and gee, I wonder what happens there. I totally don't remember from 20 years ago. Hmm. Hmm. I hope they use Bret Hart in a very good way that helps get him over and the company too. And there is no manufactured controversy because someone had to play politics.
What? No way.
Anywho, all right, Arnold. So let's let the people know where they can reach out to us. And hey, if you have a review for a match or a show, send it to us. We'll read it on air
Please.
and discuss it. Give us your
Yeah.
grades, give us your reviews. And if you want to do that, tell them where they can do it, Arnold.
You can send those over to us at AEWR316 at gmail.com. So I don't really think we mess with Twitter much anymore. At least
Nope,
I don't.
I don't mess with Elon's hellscape. So the hell with him.
And I mean,
I
if you're not already, watch this here on YouTube. Attitude Era
Yes,
Review Podcast.
that's right. We are live every broadcast. It'll usually be Wednesdays if it's not 107 degrees outside. So yeah, every Wednesday at 7:30, I think, for the pre-show, and
Mm-hmm.
8 o'clock for the show recording. We've been doing them live. And we are, if you're just seeing us on YouTube, we are a podcast everywhere you steal your podcast from. So
Absolutely.
go there.
Yeah. Give us
And
a
if you're
chat.
listening to us on, and if you're listening right now on podcast, please, 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 5 stars and review, please. We could really use them. Tell us how awesome we are.
Pretty please.
And if you're watching on YouTube and you miss Arnold's pretty face, I know I do. He should be back next week.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, Arnold's here, but his face should be back, and we're not looking at McClue. All right. I think that's my McClue to go take us home. Or that's your McClue to take us home.
Well, wait a couple minutes like Macho. I'm kidding, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it was WCW Monday Nitro live from Charlotte, North Carolina, December 15th, 1997. I've been the man with the velvet vocal cords, Arnold. And with me, as always, my tag team partner, your thrice armchair booker of the year, the Big Drewski. We're lying on our backs, staring at those lights. 1, 2, 3.
Peace.